On Tuesday, I started a Four Winds course with the fantastic Alberto Villoldo, a anthropologist and who has been studying shamanism, Peruvian shamanism, Mayan shamanism for the last 25 years. An amazing, amazing guy that's got some fantastic work. So if you don't know of him, go check him out and go check his work out. This video is going to be focused on some of the synchronicities, well, all of the synchronicities that came up within that first lecture, because it was mind-blowing and it really brought home the importance of staying in our own lane and trusting ourselves. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hi, and welcome to Oak Lore Duir. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Claire Attio. For those that are returning subscribers, thank you, thank you, thank you. And straight into it. So I started the course on Tuesday with Alberto, and he's a guy that I kind of came onto my spectrum in 2015, 2016. I was being drawn to the Peruvian culture, the history, the shamanism then, although I didn't really kind of understand it as shamanism. It was the spiritualism that I was being drawn to. And I actually came across him by watching a YouTube video that he was doing of some very unknown sacred sites within Peru, and he was giving obviously the history and everything, which I found absolutely fascinating. I'm a bit of a geek like that. I love all things kind of archaeology and anthropology. But that aside, what transpired on Tuesday, where there were so many synchronicities, he started the course by pulling 3 cards from his deck, and we were to choose from 1 to 3, and I chose 3, and on 3 it was Vision Quest. This isn't actually from his deck. His deck is the Shaman, not Oracle. This is from another deck. I can't find his deck at the moment. I must have loaned it out. But it was the Vision Quest, and the one thing that came from that he was actually saying, it's not about it's not about what we do next. It's about who we want to be next. And I was kind of sat there and I took a breath, because it was such a simple way of actually putting it. I did do a video before Christmas where I was talking about using spirituality as an escapism. And so we're on the next course and on the next course and on the next course, and I must do this and I must do this and I must do this, rather than sitting and embodying the spirituality that is within us, that is available to us. And it's within us and available to all of us, every single one of us. So that was the first thing. And it was such a simple phrase that I was just like, because I think I did a whole video on what he said in just a few words. So it's that stopping the to-do list and think about, who do I want to be? Focusing on who you want to become, not what you have to do, which is just amazing. The other thing that came out from that was he also mentioned the 4 horsemen. I was like, whoa, this is really freaky, because I did a video just after Christmas, because I had the visualization of the 4 horsemen coming towards me. And in that video, I kind of used it, and I talked about different archetypes that we can embody, using the 4 horsemen as a catalyst in which to grow and expand and change our perception and change our dynamics, mental dynamics. So, really elevating our consciousness and getting rid of those dysfunctional behaviors and those dysfunctional thoughts that keep us stuck, that have us playing small, that keep us in competition, And so when he kind of brought that up again, I was like, there was so many things going on. And it was interesting because for him and for the shamans that he actually works with, the four horsemen in the apocalypse, it's not going to be like the end of the world is nigh. It's got nothing to do with that. What he was actually saying there, what they focus on is the apocalypse being the disease within the physical body. So obesity, diabetes, cancer, and what was the third one? Dementia. That was the fourth one was dementia. And it's how through not clearing some of the denser energies from our physical bodies, not clearing that dark energy, not healing the aspects within us that don't function, that have caused us trauma, we develop these physical ailments. And so that was, as I said, another synchronicity that was coming in. He used the four horsemen, and the culture there is all about healing in the sense of getting rid of that dark energy. I was drawn to use it on a psychological level where we use it as an archetype to learn how to change our mindset. And so even though it's a different approach, the results are the same. The third synchronicity was the movement of Pluto into Aquarius on the 20th of January. And I wrote a post about this over on my page. If you're not a member of my Facebook page, then I actually recommend that you follow me over there as well, because I do put out different information. I'm not just repeating the same information over the different mediums. There's differing information, it goes into different depths. But within that, I was actually saying about how it's going to bring out the balance, how it's going to help us expand our consciousness, raise our consciousness. And it was really interesting because what he was actually saying within his lecture was that it brought us into a time of emergence versus emergency. And so for those that are doing the work, those that are actually working to pull themselves out the 3D matrix, and this is not of them in us, there is time here to do the work, but he was explaining the importance of those that are actually focusing on raising their vibrations, actually doing the healing and embracing the quantum mechanics that is available, that you know, understanding our world, understanding humanity and humanity's growth and the time that we're actually in, that understanding, and then embracing it, allowing ourselves to flow with it, allowing ourselves to grow with it. That will give us an emergence. And then those that are still allowing fear to be their driving force are going to come up against emergency. So it's just one letter, it's an E and a Y, emergence, emergency. And again, he said in 2 words, 3 words, what I've probably been saying for, I don't know, it's brilliant. I mean, I'm just in awe of his ability to be able to communicate that in such an effective and direct way. But it is really auspicious time. It is really important. And these synchronicities were monumental in my own growth for me to accept that these energies, these ideas, these inspirations, these whispers, I mean, I always take it, I never take credit for it, it's always coming from divine. But it was great for me to be on that lecture and go, wow, it's not about, oh, I'm wonderful, but it really helped me to cement in my connection, the information that's coming through, the information that I'm tapping into is one on a global scale. And it made me remember a time back in 2016, 2017, when I was doing energy readings. I was inspired to do energy readings for the group that I run on Facebook. And I put up a post and talking about the up and coming energies. And one of the guys in the group put up a Lee Harrison video that had gone out a week or a few days previously. And when I actually listened to that, because I wasn't aware of him, that was the first time he'd actually come onto my spectrum. When I listened to that, I was like, wow, oh, wow. And I instantly went into, because I was still holding on to that competitive mode, and I was instantly worried that, oh wow, okay, maybe they think I'm plagiarizing. And so for months afterwards, rather than sitting and working through that dysfunctional belief that I was carrying within me that was still having me in competition, rather than sitting with that, what I did for months afterwards, and I'm going to be honest about this, is I would tap into the energies and I would say, right, okay, universe, tell me what the energies are coming. And I would almost be forcing, and spirit ran with me. It allowed me to do it for a few months so that I would actually upload and get out that video before his came out. I had to prove myself. And the one thing that came from this course on Tuesday, from the lecture on Tuesday, was it was a reminder how all of us are tapping into the same information. Our ancestors are telling us, maybe they're telling us with different words and in different ways, and they're putting greater importance on one aspect rather than another. But it's the same information. And that with the Lee Harrison incident was monumental in my growth. Was it a negative aspect at the time? Yes, it was. Was it a negative response from me? Absolutely. But it allowed me to see it. It took me a couple of months to see it, but after a few months, I was able to see, whoa, hold on, hold back. Again, you're not trusting yourself. You're thinking negatively about the perceptions that other people have about you rather than just knowing and trusting that that is not the case. And this came up, it came up again about a year later, but in a very different way. I was part of a spiritualist church, and I went along to see a medium at work, and he actually started channeling, and he started channeling somebody that I have also channeled. And again, it was that cement, like this course is to me at the moment. Then it was the cement of, yes, what the information that you get, it really cements it into place, because he channeled somebody that I had channeled previously, privately, a few weeks previous. And he basically, the message that he channeled was exactly the same, almost word for word, for what I had been given. And it's that learning to trust. We get given these synchronicities to really trust ourselves. I thought I trusted myself. I'll be honest, I thought I trusted myself fairly well, but Tuesday brought it home that actually, no, there is still more work to do there. There is still layers of the onion to take off, and some things, energies within me, which is what the course is all about. It's getting rid of the darker energies, the heavier energies, the aspects that keep us playing small, the aspects that stop us from taking full ownership of who and what we are. And so it's been a really good learning curve for me, which is why I wanted to share it with you guys. I'm sharing some of the synchronicities from the courses that I'm doing, and some of the aspects that are coming forward for me, and the memories and the incidents that have happened over the years. You guys will also have many incidences like this, and I just implore each and every one of you just to take a little bit of time to dig into that. Are you fully trusting yourself? Are you comparing yourself still? Are you on your trajectory, listening to your guide, doing exactly what you want? And that was interesting for me, because yes, I have been doing that. Yes, I have been staying in my own lane, being very blinkered and doing what I need to do, what I'm being guided to do. But there are obviously has been a little bit still sat in me that is that insecurity has come up, and many of us carry these insecurities. Many of us were told as children, oh, you don't do that, you mustn't do that, that's wrong, you don't do that, oh, you're just imagining that, oh, you're a bit of a weirdo. There are a million different scenarios of things that we could be taught that actually put us down, that gave us insecurities. And it's been wonderful for me this week to actually, in that lecture, one, be able to get to work with an amazing human being that puts out so much good into this world, and to learn from him, and two, to have the confirmation of some of the things that I've been getting through, and a differing understanding as well of that. One of the new things that kind of came onto my spectrum in the way that he was actually saying, he was saying, if you asked a Mayan when humanity first came, when humanity first lived here, the Mayans would actually say 2012. And what he was actually saying was that previously to 2012 were what's known as, or what he calls, proto-humans. We were learning how to be humans. And in 2012, with the Great Awakening, we started to step into that expanse of consciousness and started to learn what it was. And it's interesting because it didn't go unnoticed to me. My spirit guides were like "Dip, dip, 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 dip," in my ear, that we're now 2024, when we had this planetary alignment, which is what the Mayans have seen and foretold would happen. That if that is the case, if we kind of were born in 2012, we're 12 years old now, which is that coming into adolescence. It's coming into that time of adulthood. And that didn't escape my notice as well, with indigenous cultures that have many, many ceremonies as they come into adolescence. And I was just like, okay, another synchronicity, another little piece slotting in there. These are things that have kind of initiated and ignited. And I think that's the thing, it's ignited me again. It's made me realize where I'm still holding a little bit of energy that doesn't function for me. And so it's inspired me to go back in to really work on that, and to push through that, move past that, which is what we all need to do. But it also really brought home the message, which is what I wanted to share with you, is the trusting yourselves deeply and keep going back in. That's been what I've learned this week is, yeah, okay, I was trusting myself. I have been answering the call from spirit. I have been following what they have been guiding me to do, but there has still been a little bit of me, which I didn't realize until I started this course, still a little bit of me that was reserved, that was holding back. And so it's allowed me the opportunity to go back in and to start to resolve that, to look at that, to examine that, and to release that. Because we all deserve to be and step into our full potential. And this is where we're going in the future. We're raising those levels of consciousness. We're raising our abilities and embracing our abilities to look at ourselves and look at the things that don't function without criticism, with love, and going, okay, I deserve to shift that. And so just take a breath and feel into your body and feel in to the different aspects where you are not fully trusting yourself. And do the work that is needed to release that. You deserve it. I will leave it at that. If you've liked the video, then press that like button. By all means, share with your friends. If you've not yet subscribed, please subscribe. And I shall see you on the next one. Until next time, bye-bye.